My name is Simon Ellis. I'm a fourth generation grain farmer and pedigreed seed grower. I love working in agriculture. You get to deal with some of the friendliest people in the world. You get to work closely with the soil and help plants grow, and you're very connected to Mother Nature. Some of the crops we grow are canola, soybeans, oats, flax, we've grown hemp, and one of the biggest crops we grow is wheat. Our farm is about 1,500 acres of planted crops, which is about 1,500 football fields. In an average year, we'll grow over 25 semis of wheat, but did you know that that can be turned into over 3.6 million loaves of bread? Wheat is a crop that we plant in the spring, and in the fall we'll harvest it with our combine. From there, it's often processed into flour, which is a main ingredient in bread and other products like cake. Wheat is a really nutritious crop. It's got lots of fiber in it, it's got iron, and it's full of energy, so it's going to help you get up and go in the mornings. The environment is extremely important on our farm. We farm in the environment, so we need to make sure that the soil, the dirt, the trees, the animals, and all the fields are all as healthy as possible. That's why we use a retention pond to prevent downstream flooding. We use minimum tillage, which is another way to reduce the amount of soil that's going to erode off your farm. And then we take really good care of the trees, the streams, because they're home to beaver, birds, and we need bees. So we take really good care of those areas and work closely with them. Technology is a huge component of our farm, from the smartphone in our pocket right to the GPS, which is a global positioning system. That helps us know exactly where we're going to plant the crop, so we don't have any overlap. If we're spraying something on the crop, it's going exactly where it's supposed to be, and we're not wasting anything. There are so many great jobs in the agriculture industry, from a banker who gives a loan out to a farmer, to a person who runs a grain facility who buys grain and sells it to people all around the world, to just being a farmer and being in the field. It's a wonderful place to be, and there are piles of jobs available. Thanks for taking time to learn about what it's like to be a grain farmer. My hope is that the next time that you're sitting down to enjoy a slice of bread or a bowl of cereal, you take a minute to think about how it got there and the people that made it happen.
My name is Norbert Cabral, and I'm the manager of milling at Canadian International Grains Institute, or CIGI. People that are working in the milling industry that manufacture flour are called millers, so you can call me Miller Norbert. I love working in agriculture because I'm one of many millers in the world that produce safe food, such as flour, for people like you. This is a unique facility because we have a small flour mill here. Its capacity is around 30 times smaller than a real mill. The purpose of this mill is for training and testing. As a miller, when I receive wheat, I'm looking for its quality, its physical appearance, and its consistency. I also look for its cleanliness. And do you know that Canadian wheat is known to be the cleanest wheat in the world? When we receive wheat in our facility, we are sending samples to the lab, and one important test that they do is moisture testing. Before milling, we are adding water to the wheat, and to be able to know how much water are we adding, we need to know its moisture content. We are processing around 10 tons of wheat per day, and 10 tons is as heavy as one school bus. In a larger mill, they can process up to 360 tons of wheat per day, so that is equivalent to 36 school buses. That's a lot of wheat. In the mill, wheat is passing through several cleaning machines to be able to remove its impurities. Then we grind it into flour. We are removing the skin or the bran. What is left is a flour from the middle part of the kernel, which is the endosperm. Technology plays a major role in wheat processing. One example is our color sorter here. It has a computer inside and cameras too. So every time it detects seeds that are not wheat or seeds that have different color than wheat, it kicks it out. It's really satisfying to work in agriculture. There are a lot of jobs out there, and one of the coolest jobs is to produce flour, to become a miller like me. Thank you for taking time to learn about what it's like to mill grain. My hope is next time you and your family sit down to enjoy a slice of bread or a plate of crackers, that you take a minute to think about the people and the hard work that is involved in producing your food.
I'm Laura Holtman, and I'm here on my family farm. Every day we work hard to produce high-quality milk for consumption across Canada.
I love being a dairy farmer because I can work with my family, and I'm also working with the environment, with cows, and watching things grow and live and making quality milk. On our farm, we milk 650 cows 3 times a day, and they produce 18,000 liters of milk per day. That is the equivalent of 4,500 milk jugs per day.
Technology plays a huge role in this farm every day, and it has changed a lot since my great-grandparents started this farm. Today we use pedometers or Fitbits, and we can measure basically all the aspects of all the health of the cow on a day-to-day basis, and we can also watch how the cows are doing with milk production, how their stomach is functioning and moving, how many times they are at the feed bunk eating. When we have an alert on our system and it says, uh-oh, she's not eating as much, that will cause us to sort the cow or go see the cow and make sure that she's doing okay and she's all healthy.
On our farm, we grow many crops to feed our cattle. Corn, barley, and alfalfa are our main 3 crops that we grow. The manure from our cows on our farm gets spread onto the land in the spring and the fall. It provides nutrients for our crops to grow, which then provides great feed for our cows to eat, and reduces our amount of synthetic fertilizer we need to buy to add to our crops. So it creates a great cycle which makes soil health and builds organic matter, as well as using the nutrients that the cows produce to actually grow their own food.
Dairy cow's favorite meal is a TMR, total mixed ration. What's included in a TMR is corn silage, alfalfa silage, and then a few different grains and minerals. It's important that cows have a tasty meal in front of them so that they can produce the high quality milk and produce lots of it, and that they can stay healthy for a long time in our herd.
There's a lot of different careers in agriculture. As a business owner, we're not only just owners and working with animals and a bit of a veterinarian, we're also doing the books, handling labor, and if you love the environment and improving the environment, you can help the agriculture industry achieve that also.
I hope you enjoyed learning about our farm and how milk is produced. And the next time you sit down to enjoy a glass of milk, a slice of cheese, or a cup of yogurt, that you take a minute to think about the people and families that work hard every day to produce a safe and nutritious product.
My name is Jeremy Timmer, and I'm a master cheesemaker here at Saputo. I love being a master cheesemaker because my entire life I've loved eating cheese. Never would have dreamt as a kid that I would grow up to have a job like this. I take pride in knowing that I'm involved in making a nutritious food for Canadian families just like mine. There are a lot of different types of cheese you might know. For example, mozzarella. Mozzarella is the cheese that you would typically find on pizzas. Or cheddar, which is an orange or white cheese. It's the cheese that you would typically find on sandwiches. Or cottage cheese, which is a fresh cheese that we make right here in our facility. So the process of making cheese starts on dairy farms. We transfer the milk from the dairy farms here to our facility. Technology plays a big role in making cheese here at Saputo. One example of technology we use is an analyzer. And the analyzer passes light through the milk and tells us how much fat, protein, or lactose there is in the milk. Once we know that the milk is safe, we pump it off the truck and put it in a storage silo for further processing. Every day we receive up to 12 loads of milk. Each one contains about 25,000 liters. That would be the equivalent of about 1,000 bathtubs of milk every day. The next step in making cheese is to remove the milk from the silos and spin it in a separator to remove the fat. Then we pasteurize or heat up the milk to remove the bad bacteria that might make people sick. So to turn the skim milk into cheese, we add good bacteria to it and let it rest. The good bacteria consume the lactose inside of the milk and turn it into one large piece of cheese. When that cheese gets to the right acidity, we cut it using a special set of knives. That turns it into small cubes or curds that are suspended in a solution known as whey. Whey is composed primarily of water, lactose, and proteins. At first, the curds are rather soft, so we have to cook them to get them to the right firmness. After the curd is cooked, we drain the whey off and rinse and cool it and further process and package it. Cottage cheese is a very healthy, nutritious product. It's very high in protein, low in fat, and has a minimal amount of lactose. It's a great addition to a balanced diet. Thanks for taking the time to learn about how your cheese is made. The next time you're enjoying cheese, I hope you take a minute to think about all the people who are involved in making this safe, healthy, and nutritious product.
My name is Beth Connery, and my family and I run Connery Riverdale Farms. Connery Riverdale Farms grows strawberries, asparagus, broccoli, carrots, and squash that we send to grocery stores across Western Canada. Connery's has about 1,000 acres that we take care of, and we grow 500 to 600 acres in vegetables every year and about 30 acres in strawberries, and the rest in cereal crops that we use in our rotation to help take care of our land. Carrots are one of the main crops that we grow on our farm. We plant them in the spring and harvest them late summer and into the fall, and then we store them and pack them out over the winter time. On an average year, we grow about 4 million pounds of carrots, so that's about 25 million carrots. Carrots are really good for you. They're a yummy snack. It has minerals and vitamins, and it also has vitamin A in it, which is good for your eyesight. Not good enough to let you see in the dark, but it is still good for your eyes. The environment is really important to us. We've been farming here for about 60 years, and I have my children and grandchildren involved, so it's really important that we take care of our land and our water and the environment around us. Technology is really important to us. A good example is our overhead watering system, and what that does is it applies only the amount of water that is actually needed by the crop when the crop needs it. So we're not putting any extra on, and we're conserving water. Agriculture is a wonderful field to get a job in. And if you have a favorite class in school, I'll bet you I could find you a job in agriculture that uses that class. Everything from the sciences to language arts and phys ed, all kinds of classes can be used in agriculture, and there are all kinds of jobs. Thanks for taking the time to learn something about Connery's Riverdale Farms. I hope the next time you sit down to enjoy some carrots, squash, or strawberries, I hope you take a minute to think about the people who have grown these products for you and enjoy them, because we've really enjoyed growing them for you.
My name is Mark Zakanowicz. I'm the Vice President of Operations here at Peak of the Market. Peak of the Market is the administrative, sales and marketing, and distribution arm for farmers to move all of their fresh vegetables into the grocery stores. I am so proud of our facility. It's about 75,000 square feet, which in comparison is about the size of 2 NHL hockey rinks. The vegetables that we sell here at Peak of the Market are so nutritious and so healthy for you. All of the food is having a significant impact on keeping Canadians and everybody healthy. We grow so much besides just grains. There are hundreds of acres of land committed to vegetables that supply Western provinces, from asparagus to zucchini if you want to go A to Z. A really interesting fact about Peak of the Market is 80% of our total volume is potatoes. We grow so many potatoes that in an average year we'll sell about 200 million pounds of potatoes. That's over 500 million orders of French fries every year. In fact, there is nobody who grows more red potatoes in Canada than Peak of the Market. Technology plays such a big role here at Peak of the Market. We pack out around 50 million pounds of potatoes and onions a year. All of that product goes through metal locators, packing lines, which are all automated, and at the end of those packing lines are robots, which we spent about $500,000 on, which will pack out all of those potatoes and onions and palletize them to make sure that they're not bruised, they're beautiful, and gets them ready so that we can put them on the truck to send them to the stores. If you're ever considering a career in agriculture, it's an amazingly rewarding experience. And there are many roles that are available right from farm level all the way to our distribution center. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. And I hope that the next time you sit down at the dinner table or at lunch and you're enjoying French fries or some carrot snacks or some fresh broccoli or cauliflower, that you remember all of the hands and all of the work put forth to produce and grow the vegetables that you're eating and all the work it takes to getting them from our facility to your table. Thank you so much for joining me.